NHS is collapsing, pensioners are freezing, and our soldiers are counting their bullets. But don't worry, the UK government has plenty of money going spare. For Kenyan gender studies programmes, has plenty of cash to dole out. For poetry workshops in Colombian jails, and has lots of money free to farm out to shrimp farms in Bangladesh. Welcome to Britain 2025, where we can't afford our own problems, but we'll happily fund everyone else's.
Donald Trump is demanding that Europe dramatically increases defence spending and stops the US taxpayer from subsidising European security, as it has done for the last 25 years. It's electrified the debate about public spending in this country and our foreign aid budget. That's £15 billion we send abroad every year. Now, the Chancellor Rachel Reeves says our coffers back home are bare, and actually we might have to look at more tax hikes and spending cuts across the board. But what are we actually spending these billions of pounds on? We've looked at some of the wackier bits of our foreign aid budget. Things that include research into Bangladeshi prawn health, millions for cybersecurity in India, and even poetry workshops in Colombian jails. Now, as belts are tightened back at home, this sort of lavish international spending, it's going to look bonkers to most people. It's highly controversial, and the debate is raging whether we should continue it at a time of cuts back home. Now, in America, Elon Musk is leading the charge to reduce the size of the state, cut willful government expenditure. Now, there's more than a few examples about where we could do a similar project at home.
Welcome back to another episode of Nothing to See Here, where common sense goes to die, and the UK government insists on kicking its own citizens right in the ghoulies while handing out blank cheques to the rest of the world. Today we're looking at Britain's foreign aid budget, a £15 billion a year money pit, all while the country falls apart. So how much do we actually spend? This £15 billion a year is not mere small change. It's more than we spend on policing. It's more than our entire prison system. And it's twice what we spend on the UK border force. But don't worry, I'm sure funding a solar power project in Chad is much more important than, I don't know, stopping people from illegally crossing the channel. This is where it gets even more insane. We're not just sending money for famine relief or disaster recovery. There might be a little argument for us handing over a few pennies to support. No. The UK taxpayer is funding some truly ridiculous projects. Get a load of these. This is just a short list. Your taxes, your hard-earned taxes, are being spent on nonsense. We've got £35 million on gender awareness training in Kenya, or whatever that is. 3.8 million for, dig this, poetry workshops in Colombian jails. I mean, imagine being a fly on the wall there. I mean, nothing rehabilitates a drug cartel member quite like a beautifully written and performed haiku. £17 million. This is, I don't even know what shrimp farms in Bangladesh. What is that gaining us? Who has made that decision? Somebody obviously thinks shrimping is the future. I do not get it. Because meanwhile, back in the UK, has anyone else noticed record NHS waiting times? Has anyone else got a little issue with there being 4.5 million Brits in fuel poverty in 2025? But we can afford gender awareness seminars. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. And let's just dig a bit closer. Let's think about who are the biggest recipients of this money. Is it some small peripheral nations that haven't at all got a malign influence on the world? I don't know, is it maybe China and India? Both of whom have space programs. We're literally sending aid money to nations that own more of our economy than we do. Some people say that we should stop foreign aid in its entirety. Turn off the tap overnight to zero. Others say maybe we should just stop the absurd projects. Wouldn't it be nice if the UK government cared as much about its own people as it does about every other country on earth? It's insanity and it's an absurdity. So what do you think? Should we be cutting this aid budget? Should we reallocate it to actual humanitarian needs? Or should we just accept that our taxes exist to make everyone else's life better and screw the Brits? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button like it's a climate activist glued to the M25. Because we all know where this is headed. Cheers!